Where's the remote? Found it.
Turn off the lights.
All right.
Did you grab the drinks?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, I'm making the popcorn.
It's starting. Come on.
All right. Okay, I'm here. Hit the button. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna.
And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast,
where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
Okay, the opinions no one ever asked for.
I thought the computer is not making a sound. Who? It's usually we're dealing with phones.
I thought you might have needed a boost.
Yeah.
So I was helping.
We were out today, and I came home, and I was going pee, and I looked down, and my knees are bright red. I still have spots all over. It's probably been about an hour now. I don't know what that's about. They're so itchy. So I took allergy medicine, and I have to take child's allergy medicine. And that medicine happens to make you sleepy. So I am so tired right now. And if you follow our We Talk About It All podcast, we have a party this weekend. And the demon reminder just turned on. But I was saying, if you follow that, we have a party this weekend, so we've been busy, and I still have to shower. I still have to eat. Like, I'm not even remotely done. I could fall asleep.
I'm sitting here with a dye in my hair that probably needs to come out in about 10 minutes, so we'll see how long this goes.
Oh my god. You know what? And the worst part is, finally, episode 4 of the New Jersey Housewives, which hold on, I did get the name. I wrote it in my other app. Episode 4 of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Housewarming History Lesson is what it was called.
Interesting.
A little weird, but finally, 4 episodes in, and we got the damn taglines that we've been waiting for. And honestly, they were so not worth the wait.
Such a letdown. I mean, Dolores was the best.
We'll read
this is Dolores' season.
We'll read them off right now, and then we'll give like a little ranking. So Melissa's is, you'll never see how toxic someone is until you breathe fresher air, which I like. That just sounds like a typical quote, but there's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I know she's trying to make a statement, but
yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of
Yeah, it was like
Teresa's here. Blood is thicker than water, but it's harder to clean when it spills. I
feel like you messed some up. I thought it was even longer than that.
Sounded like maybe. I'm sorry. Maybe I shortened it. I got these from.
But when it spills,
but it's harder to clean when it spills.
Once it spills, I don't know. It just felt like it went on
forever.
It was
a lot. A lot of these felt really long. I don't know if it was how they're delivering them, but I was like, okay, lady.
No good.
Then Marge, which is kind of also really disappointing. I'm a loyal friend and a lethal weapon. I don't know. It just kind of was like, eh.
I mean, I didn't mind hers,
but it was just kind of
it was definitely not on the bottom, but it was again, it could have been better. I think.
Jennifer's is payback's a B, so start barking, which I saw people in the comments saying, this makes no sense. She's trying to relate it, female dog, start barking, but if you're saying that payback, are they barking at you?
Because she's trying, it sounds, to me, that my first thought would be, she's calling herself that word.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
So why would you call yourself that?
It's a little confusing. And then the best, which we both have to agree on, this Jersey girl has the luck of the Irish, and nobody's screwing with my pot of gold, Dolores.
She's on fire this season.
This was even a little long too, but it was
good.
Good
Though. It was well worth it at least.
Because really, she's not letting it so far anybody really mess with her.
No, she's really on point, and she looks good. She's dressing nice. Her hair's always done. She's looking good. I'm not gonna lie, she's looking good.
Danielle, I may be over the top, but I'd rather be bougie than basic.
Yeah, I guess that's for her clothing.
Yeah, it's for the clothing, but it's kind of like you're already saying you may be over the top, so I don't know. It feels like you're kind of repeating yourself. But just
a little redundant.
Now Rachel's here. We're
it's
so
quite
confused.
Interesting.
I'm too busy running a business to care about yours. That's actually a pretty good one though.
It's I'm running a business. But what business is she running? Because she hasn't said nothing about what she does.
Maybe that's why they've been trying to hold out the taglines, because Rachel has yet to mention what she does. It's
nobody knows. Nobody knows.
And that's all on. Dolores definitely is probably the best. Rachel's is pretty good too, but I would like to see the job first before I
she doesn't show much. It's weird.
Yeah, I feel like the other girl,
we don't know much about her still.
Danielle could definitely be. That would have been better for her, because at least she has a business that we've seen her talk about.
But I think nothing. But she is already butting her nose into things, so I guess that's where it's going from. But so you see all the men.
Yeah.
Coming home from the drunken night out.
Yeah.
Some of them were better than others, I'm not going to lie. Fuda was my funniest, Rachel's husband. Yeah. He came home and he was just a little...
Yeah, he was definitely a new Bill.
Yeah. Oh, that was a new bill. I
don't know if
what.
anybody can hear that.
That
Her
was
stomach. She's ready for dinner. Yeah, he just kind
coffee.
of gave he was he was just like, yeah, I'm the drunkest.
I honestly think as a new husband, he's got a lot of potential. If they let him have it, I think he'll be really funny.
What are you doing, sis?
She's begging. Working hard. As soon as I'm done, you can have your food. Who else did they show? Oh, Danielle's husband.
They showed Jackie's husband. They showed Marcia's husband. I don't think they showed Joe Gorga.
No, they
didn't show Louis.
They showed him the next day.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, because then they jump right into Teresa.
No Frank, but that's kind of because nobody was there waiting to film him, obviously. So, he's not.
They jumped right into Teresa and Louis. Like, I guess they're like setting up the backyard for this housewarming party that they're eventually going to have, and their dynamic is just weird to me. Like, I want to believe that like it's all good and like they're.
Just keep going. I don't even
They're
think
really
they can hear your
good.
stomach, but
I know, but it throws me off though, like because I get distracted by it because I actually can feel it as I hear it.
Yeah, the couch is shaking a little. No, I'm just
no, that's me shaking, I think. Yeah, so it's just weird because they're in the middle of something and they just randomly decide to sit down to like to discuss the night. And I know they have to because that's the way the show goes, but it's just one thing after the other again where Joe was mean to my brother. I don't know how he's so mean. I'm mean to my husband, my future husband, and it's the same old. She's upset because of the way that Joey cursed at him. It's the same
thing because it's literally just this now instead with this guy instead of like Joe Giudice instead of being like the one.
And you know what makes me like laugh is that they made this comment about because obviously Joe's beef was that you didn't invite his in-laws, which I do understand like to a certain, maybe not all of them, but at least maybe the mother because they did say that she had this relationship and showed, with the dad and all.
Like footage of it and everything.
And I do believe that they have been in their lives for a long time. The thing that was weird was like they were like, why didn't you invite Louis' family to Antonia's Sweet 16.
That's not the same thing.
No, but does Joe even know Louis' family like that?
I don't know. But that's not like, I don't even feel like a Sweet 16 and like a wedding are on the same thing.
Well, I guess the way they do it is.
But not really. Like, it's mostly like the bulk of it's going to be like your, like,
but
friends from school.
I think if Louis was around for quite some time. What happened there?
I don't even know.
If Louis was around for quite some. Quite some time, I think maybe they would have, but I think this is so fresh that I don't even know if they know his family like that. Like, you're just gonna invite strangers? Like, this is like people that they legit, I mean, I don't think they know.
There's
like
something
that
stuck in the back of my throat.
You okay now?
I think so.
Well, the best part had to be the prepping, the note, the note prepping constantly. He asks her. Then they go inside and he asks her like, "Do you want to like
make peace?
Make peace. You want to call your brother and see if he's coming to the housewarming party?" And I don't know. Joe's just like they're so awkward the way they talk to each other.
Well, no, because even mine, I literally wrote it down. Like, here's the thing. Like, so he wrote down a second thing on the paper too, Louis. We mentioned it last week, but no, when I was listening to it, like, right. So he wrote "make peace" down on the paper. Okay, great, but it didn't even sound like she, like, added, like, anything. Like, she read it verbatim. Like, to me, it sounded like she just typed in, like, she went into, like, an AI and typed in, like, an apology generator, and that's just what she gave her, and she read it, like, with nothing, no inflection, there was nothing. Want to make peace?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it was so weird.
But the worst part is, like, then it's, like, so she just says, want to make peace, you're coming to my party, and he's like, I don't know, maybe, and it's, like, at the end of this call, though, they're like, it was like the most exhausting thing ever. Like they ran a marathon over there.
But like she,
oh my God, her now.
Look at Sissy.
Did you hear the couch?
What? Yeah, that was okay.
Didn't sound good. But yeah, no, they were like
very pretty.
Sissy, hi. No, so it was just like they like this really took them
and like they
a lot of energy out of them.
And like they accomplished a lot. Like
she ended. She's like. I can't believe he said I love you.
I know. I just
I told you while we were watching. I'm like, I think he probably just was like a natural like habit to be like love you, but like I'm sure the only person he's talking on the phone with is probably like Melissa. So it was just like.
But you know what cracks me up is like the episode before this, you have him like bashing Joe, and now you're like prompting her to make peace. Like make up your freaking mind, dude. You're supposed to be helpful. I don't know. He just doesn't. I don't know. So now they go to Melissa where you see Joe after that night. And Joe, you know what I have to admire about Joe is that, like, that is a big-ass house. But he's actually up there in the mix with his construction boots on, and you know he just didn't show up there. Like, he's been working there.
Yeah.
But I think that he is that kind of person. Like, you know, I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He was up there, like, building that house. And, of course, she shows up, and I like that he says to her, like, you came with white sneakers? And she's like, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
I feel like I always see him carrying her over some kind of mud when it's, like, a house always, these two.
That's I see, I don't understand, like, why Teresa's got a problem, because I think they're very cute together. Like, I don't think they've ever not, like, when they used to come with those allegations of one's cheating on the other, I don't think they ever would.
It's just, like, an easy thing to, like, be
like,
oh, they're cheating. Because, of course, it's, like, an easy rumor to spread, because, of course, the person would be hiding it and denying you're going to look guilty. So it's, like, it's the easiest thing to spread.
The only thing I can't get behind with them is the podcast stuff. Like, I understand that, like, they were just talking about the podcast, and they were just being honest, saying that, you know, they filmed with Joe Giudice, and that's what got him his paycheck. But I think it's the way they said it that is ruffling everybody's feathers.
The putting food on the table.
Yeah, the putting, and, like, I know what she was trying to say.
Yeah, by filming with him, giving him that paycheck, he could put food on the table. So it was like,
so they
in
helped
a roundabout way,
they
did
put food on the table. I mean, that would be like somebody saying, like, I drove you to work every day. I helped put food on your table.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, by providing me a ride.
But you can't have these kind of, like, phrases with Teresa. She was as raw as a cucumber in the first episode. You can't try to, like, make that kind of analogy. She's not going to get that.
Yeah, no, it's never going to work with her. That's really all they do. Like, they snip in. This is the only thing I don't like about this.
It's
like,
a lot of short little clips.
Yes, they snip in and out of everybody. I don't know if they're just trying to cover everything until they get to a major party or something, or a major event.
Yeah.
But that's how I kind of feel. It's like, oh, blip, there you have them. Then you're right back at Dolores, and now you have, like, a little blip with Dolores, and her mom comes over, who I'm glad to see looked actually pretty good, because I know last season that surgery, she said, was rough on her mother. So she said, and I just love her mother. I mean, how
she had a piece of cake for breakfast.
But that's so much, and in her eyes, that is so much better than what she used to do.
Because she might have had
the whole cake every day.
She might have had the whole cake and just left the piece for later.
She asked for some grapes, and, you know.
She had, like, a charcuterie board out or something.
Yeah, so she asked for
some grapes. But I do love that she was just having, like, some of the charcuterie board, and she's like, what'd you have for breakfast? Piece of cake.
Well, that's because the son asked, like, how are you doing with your diet? And
no, I know, but I love that she tries to have this, like, healthy.
Too. Like, you can't fault her.
Yeah, she could have been like, I had a granola bar.
And she didn't. No,
she's like, I had a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. When I was down and my knees were just itchy right now, should I have had that little brownie? No, but I did. Honestly, it hasn't made me feel any better. My knees are still bright
and the
red.
Brownies got thrown out because she said they were horrible.
I didn't
Just like the sprinkle cookies, out they went.
I like sprinkle cookies, okay, Melissa? You bring me a sprinkle cookie, okay?
Yeah. So then, of course, they go on to talk about Paulie and Frank, and, you know, because I'm glad that it seems like the son and the daughter, they like this new guy, but, you know, they want their happy little family thing like they used to have, which I understand. They've had that, and that's been something they've had, but they can have that, too. They don't need to, like, Frank doesn't need to be in charge of everything. That's what he's got to let it go, but... You know, like, and then, like, they're done. They're on to somebody else. Like, it's like, okay, great, but... And then I'm not really sure where they're going with this, with Jennifer Aiden and Bill. I just, like, I'm not sure...
Divorce arc?
I don't know what she's trying for.
Weird.
I feel like she... Because she was on Watch What Happens...
Just renew your vows.
Yeah, she was on Watch What Happens Live, and for the night that this episode aired, and she was talking, like, Bill was there. He came with her. Well, I'm not sure. Like, he was at Watch What Happens... Watch What Happens Live with her, and talking very nicely and this, that, and the other thing.
They always do, but then it's like, as soon as the camera comes on, like, she's like, Bill, you did this wrong. Bill, you did this wrong. Like, at the party, she was like, what are you trying to do? Like, like, at that first party, she was like, she was going back to this, like, what are you trying to do? Where he was like...
she brought all that up.
She picked up everything that he's done wrong so far.
She's like, I just want him to have my back. And people are like, I forget. Oh, she was on with the girl that won Traitors.
Oh, yes.
Series. So she said, well, somebody asked, oh, you want him to have your back even when you're not right?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. And the other girl, like, agreed with him. And I'm like, everybody else on the polls didn't agree with him. I'm like, you can't make the guy say something that's not true. Well, but
she's not gonna, the girl was with her, is not gonna be like, oh, I think you're wrong. You might as well just lie to her face. But she was in the back during the commercial break. She's like, don't agree, on her phone. She's voting on the polls. So
probably.
I do. Be like, lie to your face, and then be like,
And then I have to say, out of newbies, I do like watching Jen F, and Rachel together.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's something about them that I don't really care for
Even
Rachel by herself, but when she's with Jenna.
They had the three of them all together. They
Yeah.
they had those two together, but then they had all three of them at the party. They do have like a really good
Yeah, they're funny.
chemistry. That
I mean, that Jen F. I think she should have been a regular, because I
Yeah, I
think she
could
would
see
have
her
been.
getting moved
I
up.
think she could have been really good. Like she's over there. Rachel's like, can we split that margarita pizza? And she's like, no, yeah, no, I don't do that. No.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you go, girl.
That's what I'm saying. She's like a very normal person.
Yeah,
That's
she's
why I thought
really
she would
like
do like
a normal, down to earth person.
like do good in this. Like I feel like she could be like the Marge of the kind of like, but she's even like more normal than Marge.
And then she goes on to like establish, like, makes a little sense why she was one of the ones down with the mozzarella. She was explaining that she was not like Rachel when she was her age.
Yeah.
Like thin and she was like pushing 222 and linebacker weight, she was saying, or something weird she made a comment to. But these two get together and of course like start to compare notes that like Jennifer, which is weird though, that Jennifer Aiden like called her and called her.
You think
and
she would learn by now, Jennifer?
No.
And stop calling people.
And she thinks that she can get away with it because she calls them and says things like, oh yeah, I'm just calling to apologize for talking about your nose, and oh, I'm just calling to find out if you know that good counselor's name and stuff. Like things that sound like they could be legit, but like you're like,
yeah,
really?
she's just digging to like, she's like,
she's,
that's her like lead into like,
because then they said like immediately she went into like talking about people.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on now. I didn't hear all this nose chatter.
Yeah, I don't know where this came from. Maybe it was like off screen.
Yeah, it might have been off screen because I didn't hear them comment about her nose.
No.
That she had a nose job. And
I'm gonna assume it was probably one of the off screen calls because
it must have been.
See, that's the thing too with Jennifer.
Well,
where like
it didn't even sound like
Jennifer stirs the pot, but she stirs the pot a lot off screen. Where it's kind of
like it was a call though. She made it sound like she said something in front of her.
Maybe,
about her nose, but I don't know because they did show like a clip of something. I could see them
getting rid of Jennifer in a way because like we were like, oh yeah, she stirs the pot, and like this one towards the end, almost everybody's coming at this girl now. Where we said she's got her hand in too many pots, and they're just proving it. But like, it's not like, here's the thing, like it's like stirring up drama like while you're filming and on camera, but then she just, even while they're filming it on off season, she's stirring up drama that like,
I know. Crazy.
And it's like you don't even know what's going on because half of it's going on behind the cameras, so it's like kind of confusing. You're lost.
And she's funny because Jen Aiden says things like when she was saying to Bill, she's like, maybe I don't want you to diffuse the situation. Maybe I want you to leave it like something. So you don't want him to diffuse it or fix it. Like you'd rather cause problem. Like you'd rather have this be an issue that you like just keep revisiting, it's like ridiculous. I don't know. Housewarming time.
Yeah.
And we see Dolores and Marge, which is an odd pair, shopping for something for Teresa. What would you even get her in that huge ass house?
I don't know.
I mean, Jennifer Aiden, when she comes to the party, she brings this tree of life, which was a cute thing since they are merging families together. But like, I don't even know where I'd put something like that. It was kind of weird. It just had
they put it up on some random like outdoor bookcase.
But I don't think that's where it's supposed to be. But they, of course, take their time to call Melissa to get like the skinny on like what's going on with them. Is she coming? Is Joe coming? And she's like, I don't know. I really don't know what he's doing. And I feel bad for Melissa because she's definitely put in the middle of this one.
This episode, how we were saying, like,
sucky.
No matter what she does, this one definitely proved it because it's just everything that, like, they say. I mean, as far as Teresa goes, it kind of proves the point of, like, no matter what she does, she will always be wrong.
She's always going to be wrong. Yep. Like, she
came to the party.
And she came to the party without Joe. And then she came to the party without the kids. And then it's like, she can't, she really can't
because that was the thing. Like, okay, great, yay, Melissa showed up to the party, but no one could care enough that Melissa showed up to the party because Joe didn't show up to the party with
so they
Melissa.
Were, like, homing in on
but
that.
then if Melissa didn't come to the party, they would have been like, well, why didn't Melissa make Joe come and make herself come, or why didn't Melissa at least just come by herself? And it's like, you really can't, like, she will never ever win in this situation.
No, and this was before this was after Melissa came. Like, she was one of the come late.
I think it was like for drama because
probably. I'm sure they probably tell them like, oh, hold back a little bit, and then like be the last.
Because they had like Teresa all of a sudden looking for lunch, like, oh, there's Melissa.
Yeah, and they started the housewarming party with Gia showing up in some kind of odd little frock that looked like a little Holly Hobbyish. But meanwhile, the one before that shows up and says, Teresa says, "Oh, your dress is, I like your dress," or something like that. And she's like, "Yeah, it's a little short." And then, like, 2 seconds later, she's like, "Yeah, it's really short." And then Teresa's like, "Yeah, the shorter the better." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
for you. What is she, like 15, 16?"
The kids were weird too because they were saying, "Oh, I haven't seen him in so long, Joe."
Yeah, well,
to
Melania said, "I was hoping that he was coming because
yeah,
I
but
haven't
here's
seen
my
him." But
thing.
you just said, like, no.
Why? Yeah. Well, she wasn't talking bad about him, but here's my thing: if all these kids are going, "I want to see him so bad," like they are old enough now that they could call and text.
Absolutely.
Like if Gia's can write that comment on her dad's.
She drives.
No, but I'm saying if she can write that comment, you
yeah.
can send a text. And here's my thing too: if you do this and you set up a date and you're like, "Oh, let's meet up and we'll meet up, at a restaurant and hang out," and Joe doesn't show up, then now you have like something on your side proving he doesn't care because that's his whole thing, Joe, is that he cares so much about these girls.
But apparently he did call her and tell her he wasn't coming. He did call her and tell her that he just didn't think it was good at this time, which, I mean, I understand. If you're feeling like a little like it's too much, like we just talked on the phone and made it up,
you were like this, exhausted from the conversation on the phone.
Yeah, you don't want it to be like so fake that it's obvious. But I mean, I'm glad that he didn't just not show up because I think that would have made it even worse for Melissa. But she's over there talking to, was it Gia and Gabriella? Or Melania and Gabriella?
Maybe it was Melania. I don't really know.
She was talking to, I know the goddaughter was there because she made a comment like, "Oh, you're my godchild," or something like that to her. Or to somebody, and I'm like, they're, like, again, too much in the mix. They're just too much in the mix. They know way too much. It's ridiculous. I don't think they should, like, be allowed to, like, be this involved. Melissa was on Watch What Happens Live, and she said, because Andy was asking her about, like, the kids, and, it seems like they want to be friends, and they were, now that they all drive, do you think they'll, like, try to get together? And she said, "I actually hope so." She goes, because we don't communicate, she goes, "I really hate that the kids are always the first to be, like, suffering and not being able to, like, get together." So,
but here's my thing: like, you could, if you really wanted the kids, like, they could be like, "Hey, could you like I don't know, like, have them meet up in, like, a place, like at a restaurant, like friendlies, like the kids can go friendlies, and Melissa and Teresa can, like, go wait in their each respective car."
Apparently, there's enough of them that drive. Like, I think.
Well, no,
Antonia
I know now
drives
they're
now,
old enough to drive, but I'm just saying,
like,
still,
they could do it
before that though. Like, they could have had them meet up in like at a restaurant or I don't know, somewhere like an activity place, and each of them just sit in their car and wait until the kids come out, and it's like great. Now the parents don't have to interact, but no.
And then it basically kind of ends with a speech and a little bit of a fight. Like, Louis gets up on what looked like
he looked like
table?
He was just no,
or was it like where the barbecue grill and sink was?
Yeah, it was like the island that they had outside.
I don't know why he was standing on that. But it was weird.
He looked like he was just standing there, and Teresa's like, "Okay, I'm gonna make it down." So he's like, "Come on, get up here with me." And it's like,
before you know, you turn around, and he's like up on this thing, and I'm like, "What the?"
That was weird. And
then of course the speech.
She dropped the chosen family.
I'm so happy everybody's, and like some people defended her on Watch What Happens Live. They're like, "Yeah, but she was trying to say that everybody that was there was special to her and chosen, and unfortunately, if Joe wanted to be there, he could have been there." And I'm like, "Yeah, but
doesn't Louis call him out too in the speech or something? He said something about Joe."
No, Joe. Bill screamed, "We miss you, Joe."
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I heard somebody say Joe, but I wasn't sure who said Joe.
No, that was Bill yelling that out, that he misses him. And then, of course, it rounds off with, like, it was like a telephone tag fight. It starts with, like, Jackie and Danielle, like, talking about the outfits. And then, like, her talking about the hands waving and get your hands out of my face. And then it, like, segues into Marge. Marge starts fighting with Jennifer Aiden. And then, before you know it, Jennifer Aiden pulls in Jennifer F. into the mix.
Yeah, which then pulls in the other girl, Rachel.
And then it brings Rachel into it.
And then Dolores gets in.
Yeah, and then they bring Jen F into it again, and then Dolores ends up in it.
I think pretty much everybody ends up in it except for Melissa and Teresa.
And Jen Aiden is just yelling, and I forget who was telling her. Oh, Jackie was telling her, if you'd stop yelling and just speak, you'd probably get more. And she's like, "Oh, nobody's listening to me, and I have to get my point across, and blah, 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 blah." And before you know it, it ends with Jennifer Aiden calling Rachel an effing idiot.
Yeah.
And she kind of just kept reiterating, but her husband was the best. When her husband said, "You sure you don't want to go check her?"
During the big fight, though, I will say Teresa looked bored. Like, bored. Like, with that, like, everybody else looked like they were like, oh. Like, she looked bored. Like, I think Teresa's over housewife, like, stuff.
Yeah.
To an extent. And I think we talked about last week. Every time I've been like, okay, maybe they need to like add things, or maybe they should do like a North and a South Jersey. No. Keep the Real Housewives of New Jersey like you have it. I think Teresa needs to go and have like a Kim Zolciak where it's just her family, like a Keeping Up with the Kardashians kind of thing.
Like, let her have her own show.
Because that's what she likes when you think about it. It's more like following her like little family around, and she can cross over into New Jersey. They can cross over into her show. I think she would do better with that, where she needs to go be on her own. Where, like, I don't think she wants to leave the show, but I don't think she cares enough about being involved in, like, these major fights that you have to stay on the show.
I don't think so anymore. I think she
like
used
she just
to be,
looked
but
like I think she's
that.
just kind of over it, because I think I have to assume she as well. What?
My laptop was hot.
Oh, I have to assume, as we all are bored, and as you can see, the other housewives are bored, that her and Melissa are also probably bored of having to do this fight.
Melissa says it all the time. She said, that's why I'm done. I'm done with this fight. I don't want to keep rehashing it. And that's why, like, even Joe said when they did call her, Joe said, I don't want to talk about anything. I'm over it, because if we rehash it, it's just going to go nowhere, and you're just going to repeat yourself, and nothing's going to happen. So... I don't know. It was, it had a little bit of stuff. Yeah,
obviously the ending was the best part.
It's still slow moving, I think.
But here's my thing. It's not so slow. It's like a lot of fast clips that, like, then once you get to, like, the main event of, like, a party or whatever, and you're kind of like, you were like, oh, it's over? Like, yeah it's over.
Because you just feel like, oh, it's just getting started. Like, here we go. And if I have to listen to those taglines every week, I don't.
Well, we can skip intro.
No, I know, but I'm just like...
Yeah, they're kind of like, We did this with Beverly Hills, but at the end of the season, we'll reassess their taglines and see which fit best.
Match,
maybe what's her face.
I can see some of them already kind of fitting. But from what I understand from people in the past, I don't know, is it Marge? No.
I've seen Beverly Hills
gave a bad, maybe it was Beverly Hills, Kyle or I don't know, somebody gave one that was real stupid. And when they were called out on it, they said, well, we don't really get to pick.
Yeah, I'm sure they just have them come in.
Well, they said they give them 3 choices, and you can pick from the 3 choices.
Yeah. And well, I'm sure they come and have them record even the 3 choices, and they're like, let's go with this one. They delivered this one better. You know, that's probably why they don't, because really, I'm sure Kyle back in the day probably had a choice of like 3 different ones. I mentioned Beverly Hills, and she had to do what she had to do with what she did. So, there's that. I'm actually kind of surprised. Is the blonde one's Danielle?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised hers wasn't something like Jerseylicious. I feel like they'd try to go for that. Or
more Staten Island.
Yeah, like, you know, like how Gina from OC had that, like, one where she's like, I'm the mix of the perfect blend or something. Like, I'm surprised they didn't try to go for something like that. Maybe next season. I guess because this Bougie Kids is going to be her arc, so.
God, please, no. Those clothes are just no.
Oh, and my favorite, too, she was like, it's like, how could you not see the parallels between me and my situation and Melissa and Teresa's situation? She said that in her sit down. I was like, that was kind of weird. Like, yeah, okay, we get it. We see it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't do that storyline again. I just really can't. I can't do that story. I mean, all of them are like...
Yeah, all of them kind of got a lot of reused
Give Rachel a job. If she's got a job, give her a job.
Well,
I'd
like to see
it.
What it is.
I'd like to see it. And if this one's going to do the fashion, I would rather see her try to make a success of this Bougie Kid thing than watch her fight with like her brother, because it's going to be like repetitive, the same thing. Like, and
you don't want to see the same storyline happening twice.
No, and those guys that I listened to, the Watch What Crappens guys, they were saying that they brought in Danielle to replace Melissa and Teresa. But I'm like, why would they intentionally bring in the same storyline and try to switch it with someone and think we're going to be like down with it?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just feel like it would feel different, like you might not realize it. But here's the thing. If you were going to do that, then you should have not let the girl Danielle come in and say, you can see how similar everything is. Then you shouldn't have done that. Yeah. You shouldn't have let her point this out and just let it be something that wound up like, you know, like next year.
I don't know. We'll see, guys. I don't know. It's a rough one.
I don't know. Speaking of rough one, we also did Mandalorian, episode 1 for season 3.
That was a rough one.
That was a little rough, too.
It was a little slow.
Well, but, you know, go check out our episode to hear our full opinions. Bad. Yeah. We post those every Friday, Housewives every Saturday. My favorite thing is my TV Time app is like, the Real Housewives of OC are back. And I'm like, no, they're not. They just randomly put March 1st as a date for the OCs.
Why would they do that?
It's nowhere near. People are like, is this true? Did I miss it? They're like, no, they haven't even released the trailer for the show. I don't know what they're doing.
No, but they did say, remember I was telling you that
they were teasing
they did some kind of phone thing, and Tamara was one of the people that they used as like a bait or whatever. And Andy said, "Oh, wait until you see this season, and wait until you see Tamara's entrance."
Tamara's like hyping up this season.
Like he's like, "Wait until you see her entrance."
I think it's going to be just as good because we saw Heather's. Heather's was like a fun little one.
Yeah, I hope they do something similar to that, which I think they would. I don't know what they would do, but
I don't know. There's a lot with her that you could go with, like catchphrases and all that. There's a lot to work with Tamara. But
interesting.
That is all. This Monday we're going to do J-Lo wedding movies. We did Outer Banks last week. And we also are going to have some Jane Fonda movies coming up. The Last of Us, all that stuff. So make sure you subscribe and follow and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Hopefully you'll give us a good rating. Let us know what you thought of this episode.
Or the storyline. 5 to pepper up, to give her a little self.
I'm still so tired.
Little self
I'm
boost.
so tired.
I can see it in your eyes.
If you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. Instead, leave a comment telling us how we can improve. And we'll be back next week.
You'd make a really good mother.
Me?
Oh, yeah. Because you have the look down. You looked at the feet and I stopped. You got that scare look. I've taught you so well.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Oh, and check out our other podcast. We talk about it all.
Yeah. Hit the button. It's important.